And today I am going to try and do a double batch of coconut yogurt again, this time with the Gasseri, but this time also, just to let you know, there was a problem with the previous batch, as you may have seen if you've been watching my yogurt videos. The Gasseri came out moldy twice in a row, and the tablets were also very hard, so I let Mercola know, the company, give them a call, and they sent me a free new jar of the same probiotic so that I can try it again. They were very concerned that it turned moldy and that it was all solidified inside. So they stood behind their product, and I really appreciate that. And I'm very thankful that they went ahead and sent that. On the same day when that arrived, I also had ordered the Mood probiotic that Dr. Davis recommends. That one in particular has the B. longum, which was previously called Infantis. There's a whole lot of science behind why they changed the name and what that all means and everything. And it also has the Helveticus in there as well, which is kind of cool. So that one I know a lot of people are enjoying as part of their SIBO protocol. And so that's what I'm going to try too. And it's supposed to help with your mood after using it for about a month or so. So I'll be using it for quite a while. So I'm making the coconut yogurt the same way that I normally do, as you can see. So I've heated it up and putting the agar in it and mixing it around a little with the frother, because that is a really handy thing to get everything mixed in really well. And also I'm still adding the agar because this coconut milk does not solidify in the fridge at all, so you can't separate it from all the water that they added. So I am working on changing that up, but this is what I'm using right now. It's called Chaz, and it's fairly inexpensive, and you can imagine why. It's mostly water, so it does the job. I have made some very nice yogurt from it, but it's still not ideal. I would love to be able to just use the thick coconut. I am adding inulin and also coconut sugar because those two things are there to feed the probiotic. They're not to sweeten it or add anything else. They're just there to make sure that the probiotics have lots of stuff to feed on so that they multiply a whole lot. So got it up to boiling and then cooling it down. Then I add it to a pan of cold water to help it cool a little bit faster. And sometimes I have to change that out a few times just to make sure it stays cold. That speeds it up. And so here we are with all our probiotics. As you can see, I have not opened the Mood probiotic yet. I haven't opened the Mercola either because I want to use it the last possible minute. And from there, I'm storing it in the fridge as well. So this is how we're going to go. Sadly, as I was getting this all sorted out, I forgot to hit record because that's what happens when you have a lot of brain fog. So I'm doing the BioThin Gasseri on the left and then the Mood probiotic on the right. And I'm going to set this one a little lower just to be safe because this is the same machine that I've been using. So let's go to 93. And I'm going to do the 36 hours again, and I'm going to set it slightly higher than that just in case I need a little bit of extra time, because Dr. Davis did originally recommend that coconut yogurt go for 48 hours. That's questionable whether that's the best way to go, but either way, I'm not going to worry about it being a little over as opposed to a little under. And I do have the skewers underneath all of these as well so that they're not sitting directly on the element. So with 25 hours left, I'm checking the temperature and seeing that it is sitting right at 100, which is exactly where we want it. So I'm very, very happy about that. I'm not sure if adding the full batch on both sides made a difference, or if it just seems to be very difficult to tell when it's going to recognize the temperature and when it's not. But either way, I'm very happy to see that because this is a big batch, so it's an expensive batch, and I want to make sure that everything comes out at the right temperature. So I'm very, very happy to see 100 degrees. And now we're done. Let's see how we're doing. First off, we'll just give the temperature a go. Got that lid right off. Everything looks really good. No mold anywhere. So no mold, yay! The new product worked. And there we sit at 102, which is fabulous. Yeah, a little bit of jumping to 104, still okay. Would be nice if it had stayed right around 1. Apparently that 100 is about where you want it to be, but we're still okay. As long as it's under 110, we're all right. So that worked. Actually, I'm really, really glad that I did set it down to 93. I think that's where I'm just going to have to let it go when I'm using this particular device. And we're also going to take that one out, let it start cooling a little bit, and let's see how the mood probiotic came out here. So that is the temperature that we want, and that is the mood probiotic, which is exciting because that's the first time I've made that one, and I'm really happy to see that it is exactly at the temperature that we want it. And now let's see how the Gasseri comes out. And remember, this is a pill that actually did just the capsule dumped in very nicely. It didn't have to get crushed up or anything. It was already nice and powder. And from a fresh bottle that Mercola sent me for free, which is really fantastic. I'm so thankful that they were willing to stand behind their product and send me a new one. And what we see here is now that it's been sitting with the lid off for a little bit, so the temperature might have dropped a tiny bit there, but still great temperature and no mold. Everything smells great. So I'm really pleased that the Ultimate Probiotic Maker worked this time, and also that my Gasseri probiotic is fine now. And I am storing it in the fridge now just to be safe. It doesn't say that you need to, but it's just a better way to go, and hopefully it will be able to preserve the rest of the pills. So this turned out to be a great success. I'm very, very happy. And of course, the first thing I want to do is give it a try next, and so have a little scoop of each one. And I'm very happy to say that they both taste excellent. So these ones came out very nice. And yes, there is always some water with coconut yogurt. That's pretty hard to get away from, but it has pretty much solidified enough for my liking. It's not going to be exactly the same as a regular yogurt would be, but it's good enough that it's workable and tastes nice, and it's a decent texture, so I can enjoy it that way too. So that is where we are with this one. I'm very excited to be able to just eat all of these, so that now I'm at a point where I'm actually eating 5 different probiotic yogurts that I mix together. So I'm making them all separately, so they're not competing with each other, but then I'm eating them all together as my serving of what you could call SIBO yogurt, coconut yogurt anyway. So it's kind of like that, but it's a little bit different as well. So I've got L. Gasseri, the mood probiotic, which is actually 2, but I'm going to count it as 1. So that's there for the B. longum, which we want to kind of add and see how that goes for mood. And that one is supposed to be basically the probiotic that we lose in time. We get that from mother's milk and from birth and everything, and then that tends to be killed off by all the antibiotics that we're given for all kinds of infections over the years, colds and whatnot. And I've been given plenty of antibiotics, especially as a kid, because when I was a kid, that's what doctors gave whenever a kid had a cold. You got antibiotics, no matter what it was. So, and I've had to take them over the years for legitimate things as well. It just happens sometimes. So that really messes with the gut biome, and I'm hoping that this will, in time, rebuild, particularly in the small intestine. That's what we're aiming for, but also in the large intestine, so that basically digestion just gets better and better. That's what we're aiming for. So again, we're doing L. Gasseri, mood probiotic, and I'm also doing the Mega Spore Biotic that I have been making some yogurt with. And I'm not completely sure if I'm doing that one right, because nobody seems to really use that one to make yogurt. So I have to completely guess at what the temperature should be. And also it's got quite a few different probiotics in it. And then also I'm doing my sort of generic coconut yogurt that I have made in the past at a higher temperature that came out really nice. And that's got a whole bunch of different lactobacillus probiotics in there that I have also shown you. That's the one that I made in the Ninja Foodie. And that one has a really nice flavor, so I like to add it in as well. So that's all the probiotics that I'm doing right now. So they're all getting mixed in together. And now it's just use them and wait and see. Now, how's it going? Well, I would say overall it's been good for my digestion. It was a little tough in the beginning, and I think that's partly due to the inulin, which was a bit of a problem. Doesn't seem to be anymore. And there's some debate about whether inulin should even really be used or not, but well, I have it, so I'll just use it as I can. And I would say the one negative of making this yogurt is that it does give me really like worse dreams. Like they're just, I already have really vivid dreams anyway, always have. I'm a very, very light sleeper, kind of a lucid dreamer. And adding this in has made that even worse. I don't like that. I don't find it restful. I know some people find that vivid dreams are what they want and it's very exciting. And I know Dr. Davis has said his vivid dreams are very happy dreams. And mine, I would say I do sometimes have a little bit more happy dreams than I used to, but I have so many dreams and they're so intense. They're not nightmares, but they're just so intense. Sometimes they're stressful and they're just weird and vivid, really, 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 really vivid. And I don't like that. So I'm kind of hoping that will settle down in time because it's not ideal. If I have to put up with that to have a really good, healthy gut biome, then I will. But obviously, a good night's sleep would be good too. And I don't find vivid dreaming to be a good night's sleep. I would rather be in a deeper sleep, not that very light, scraping the surface, lucid level where I'm just having so much intensity about everything and so many memories. Like I remember these dreams all day after I wake up, and it's crazy. That's just partly me though, but I think that the adding to it that is known for the L-reuteri, it can cause an increase in vivid dreams. So for you, if you want them, then that's what you're looking for. Great. And if you're like me and you don't want the vivid dreams, then you have to just kind of learn how to live with it. And I think it's still, even though it's been a few months, it's still pretty early in the process for me. So I'm going to keep on going and hopefully things will settle down and then I will start seeing some healing from a lot of the difficult things that I'm combating with my health these days. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful for you, and we'll look forward to reading your comments below. God bless.